Well, guys, this is going to be an interesting video, a subject that I don't normally talk about, and that is meme coins. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about Shiba Inu. And this has got some interesting developments going on. It's got a bit of a community buzzing recently with some price action. So, well, I think it's time that I dive down into the technical analysis on SHIB, take a look at the hourly chart, the daily and the weekly, give you my thoughts and opinions on where I think things are going, take a look at the news and all that wonderful stuff. So as I get into today's video, if you do find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the YouTube channel, why not go ahead and subscribe? And if you're watching this on Twitter, give us a follow. Remember to like and don't forget to retweet as well. It really does help us out immensely. Let's go ahead and jump right down into today's video. This is going to be an interesting one. So let's get things kicked off with our hourly time frame. Okay, so on the hourly time frame, this is SHIB paired up with USDT using the BitGet 1 hour spot. Obviously, there are contracts and mixed contracts. This is the spot one. Obviously, the contract's going to be slightly different, but for the most part, we're going to be very much in a similar ballpark. So our structures are very impulsive in the way that they've moved recently. Some interesting kind of patterns within our data. We are looking at a nice cooling off at the moment on this 1 hour time frame. But let's go ahead and just zoom out for a fraction here, because we have seen structures looking pretty decent from our low area down here. So we kind of got our first change of characterization from a bearish state of play into a bullish state of play just over here in July. Okay, we then got a break of structure confirming that on the 28th of July. We then got a secondary break of structure over here in the 4th of August, and we've had another one recently up here as well on the 12th of August, right? So these are confirming that we are in a bullish structure for Shiba Inu. Now, if we take a look at this, right, we can acknowledge that actually from down in this low range, if I take it from this swing low down here, okay, we try to snap this on if I can, which I seem to be failing at quite aggressively here. Let's see if I can actually get this snapped on the place. We can see that if we go ahead and just bring this back down, I'll try to snap this in here. From this local low down here on 28th of June, we've seen a very significant surge to the upside. This comes in at 61.11%. Now, this is the hourly time frame, as you can kind of see. If we take this even lower down into this low that we had over here on the 10th of June, you can see it's 125% up, right? So very, very significant moves to the upside most recently, specifically on the spot. But if you were to look at that through leverage, it's going to be absolutely insane. Now, taking a look at the structures and the patterns that we have kind of going on in here, we have to kind of consider a few different things of potential. Now, for me, this looks like an impulsive structure that's not yet kind of completed or come off from this move. I think we are still in a potential third wave pattern to the upside. We haven't hit the 1.618 from our target range over here. So if we go ahead and measure this, we have this move here that looks like a nice strong 5-wave pattern. As we kind of move up, we can see here that we're just getting rejected off the 1.382, as in we're between 1.236 and 1.382. We're looking for 0.0000117545 in order to kind of hit that impulsive trigger point, which if we measure this peak here down to our local low at the moment, we can actually see our typical range being right up in that little area between 115321 and 118993. Essentially, this area just here is where we are likely to kind of have our final movement of our third wave before we cool off into a wave 4. Let's go ahead and show you what I mean. Okay, so we know that this is going to basically be a trigger point for our structures. So if we go ahead and measure this, I'd be looking at this structure here as a 1, 2, up here into 3, down here for 4, up into 5. That there actually puts us into a wave 1, 2. All of this is a wave 3. We'll cool off into wave 4 and have another wave 5 upwards. That into consideration of this move is going to be really important, because this could lead us into another impulsive structure. If we go ahead and measure this distance here, possible that if we have a really good strong 5th wave movement, we can hit the 133597, create an impulsive movement. If we do not do that and we kind of just land up in this kind of range and we kind of fail between that kind of 1.236 level, then essentially it's just a zigzag pattern. But for now, I think we've got some interesting kind of structures occurring here on our hourly time frame. So the next thing we need to kind of consider is how much of a retracement have we made from our wave 3 to our wave 2 low point here, as in that wave 3 movement. We can see that actually we have cooled down quite aggressively, heading towards the 38.2% retracement. Ultimately, that's actually deeper. It's more like a 618 retracement from the top to the bottom in terms of retracement, but it is still looking pretty nice. If I go ahead and just pull that in here, you can kind of see it's heading towards that 618. We should have actually kind of bounced more around the level of 1.0 or 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗡, that would have been a more comfortable kind of wave 4 positioning to be in. Ultimately, though, we have not invalidated the idea of the fifth wave movement to the upside. That invalidation comes in at 101,600 on our hourly time frame. So for the most part, it looks still like there's a lot more bullish momentum to the upside to be had here. The structures are very impulsive, and it's looking pretty neat and tidy on our 1 hour time frame. So let's go ahead and roll this up into an daily time frame. The daily time frame allows us to kind of look at this thing through a little bit more of a longer term lens, right? We can see that aggressive move to the upside and reversal from our current lows. As we can zoom out of here, we can see that our current bear market low is currently down there. So we can pull that in there. It's basically at 0.0000050,178, right? So we have a nice low point, a bit of a wick to the downside. As I said, we moved up 125%, I think. Let me just go ahead and sense check it again, 125% there within this move over the last couple of months, right? So we know that we've had a good move upwards here, but are we confident? Well, we are now above both the 50 EMA on the daily time frame and the 200 daily EMA. This actually is going to be giving us some confidence. As we can see, it's not the first time that we wicked up above this range, as you can kind of see up here. Okay, and we did come crashing back down again. It all depends on whether or not we're going to be able to turn that 200 EMA into a support line for us. Okay, so we're going to be keeping a close eye on that from a kind of support level. Now, for those who follow traditional markets, Forex and stocks and stuff like that, you'll know that the 200 daily EMA is going to be our trend filter. If we're above it, then we are, of course, going to be bullish. And if we're below it, we are, of course, going to be bearish, right? That's the traditional way of looking at it. Now, along that, with support and resistance, we can see some areas, some interesting areas in the history here that allow us to kind of understand, okay, where are we at the moment and is it an important level? Well, the importance level is actually up here a little bit further. We can go ahead and just pull this back here for a second. You can see previous support into resistance, breakthroughs, breakdowns, trying to break through and trying to turn it into support. This is actually an area of resistance, okay? This particular area comes in at 115,670 to 121,585. So this is going to be the area that we're going to find some rejection. I think this is going to be the fifth wave movement of that third wave, where we're likely then to move on down a little ways before we have that breakthrough attempt, okay? So it's still looking pretty strong. I'm a little bit concerned, but there still looks like there's more movements to the upside to be had, but I do think we are slowly going to be running out, and we are going to be running out of momentum, and we are going to be looking for corrections to the downside on Shiba Inu in the coming days. We can see here that we are coiling up quite a bit, and we are in what I would call bearish divergence, because what we have are higher highs on price, but our stochastic RSI is actually going down. It's losing momentum. This is showing us a divergence between price action and momentum of price action. So we need to be a little bit cautious here on the daily time frame. I do suspect we have a little bit further to the upside to kind of be halved, but expect rejection specifically from this area of resistance at 115,670 to 121,580, right? That's going to be the obvious area that we're going to be looking at for rejection. Now, taking it up into a weekly time frame, on the weekly, we can see things are not necessarily as strong as we want them to be, right? We're up in this overbought area. Last time we were up here, we're actually slightly higher in the price action, right? So we can take a look at this. We can draw a trend line between these two key areas, right? If I draw it in here, just kind of scale that out a little ways. If I actually pull it up quite a bit, you can actually see how much we've been kind of getting rejected here. Now, when we take a look at that from price action, we can see that we're in lower highs on the weekly time frame. And we can also acknowledge at the moment that we have this interesting lower high on our stochastic. Now, if this were to go increase a little ways, it would be interesting to kind of see how that would play out. But for the most part, it doesn't look overly strong. From where we were previously, we were maxed out at 100 on the stochastic RSI. Right now, at the point of recording, we're at 97.90. It does look like the 50 EMA is also going to be a weekly resistance for us. We can see that within here, within this trend line. So it does look to me like we have a high probability of a move to the downside, unless, of course, we can close above that weekly 50 EMA and giving us some confidence. Previously, this trend line was going to be looking like this previously last week, as we can kind of see, tap once, tap twice, tap three times. We broke this trend line from this point of view. Obviously, we have to adjust this until we can get that weekly close position above that 50 EMA. That gives us confidence in thinking that this is actually a nice clean break upwards. But for now, for Shiba Inu, I think we have to be a little bit cautious here until we get confirmation of this. And the weekly close, if we can close above that 50 EMA, this currently being set as 0.00001051. If we can close above that, that's going to give us some pretty decent confidence in thinking that actually things are looking up for Shiba Inu. Ultimately, though, we have to kind of take a look at it and think, okay, well, profits might be taken here and we might see some downward price action. Ultimately, momentum has run out. There's very limited movements to the upside to be had here here on this weekly time frame, and that should be of a concern to many investors out there. Let's go ahead though and start talking about some of the recent news and things that are going on when it comes to Shiba Inu. Let's go ahead and bring that up. There we go. So Shiba Inu's bright future. So Binance US enhances trading potential. And this is pretty big news. So Binance US boosts Shiba Inu, SHIB, and XRP's over-the-counter order limit to $30,000. Now, obviously, Binance US is obviously smaller than Binance, and Binance US is under scrutiny by the SEC. So there's going to be, some things going on there with that. But it's good to see that they've increased that limit a little bit. 37 trading pairs, including popular cryptocurrencies, witnessed an uplift in the maximum order limits. So again, this is some pretty positive stuff. I think this is going to help Shiba Inu from an over-the-counter point of view, trading point of view, specifically in the US with Binance.US. What is not yet seen as to whether or not we're going to see other areas of Binance do something similar, or whether other cryptocurrency exchanges in the US are also going to follow these higher order limits on over-the-counter trades when it comes to Shiba Inu and XRP and so forth, right? So I think this is going to be pretty interesting. I can see down here some more details on this one. So we've updated our over-the-counter trading portal with new maximum order limits for Bitcoin, ETH, and 10 other cryptocurrencies. Use our over-the-counter trading platform to place large buys and sell orders directly without disrupting markets. It's incredibly useful to do this, specifically if you are a large player in some specific areas. If you want to deploy $30,000 into Shiba Inu, you can do that now through over-the-counter trades, and it doesn't affect the order books of the internal market. So over-the-counter is incredibly useful, and I think this is going to be really powerful stuff for many of these cryptocurrencies as they have increased their limits. So one of those things, right? New trading horizons for Shiba Inu and XRP. It's evident that the last Thursday marked a notable shift in crypto trading ecosystem. Besides the famed Shiba Inu, SHIB, and XRP, the refreshed order limits also graced 14 other significant cryptocurrencies, summing up to 37 trading pairs on the over-the-counter platform. So there's some really good stuff going on here, but again, one of those things to keep a close eye on. Let me know if you are into over-the-counters, on whether you are looking to deploy $30,000 into Shiba Inu. It's not for everyone. It's not for me personally, but it's got some potential by the looks of it. So why not check that out if that's of interest? That brings us over to the exchange element of this video, right? Because there's many different cryptocurrency exchanges out there. Many of them basically focus heavily on the leverage side, and some of them are, more focused on the spot side of things, right? And I think it's important that we understand that there's many different cryptocurrency exchanges out there. Some of them are very similar to each other. Take BitGet here and some of the other trading platforms that are used quite aggressively, such as Bybit, for example. But there's many different cryptocurrency exchanges depending on what your preferences are and your needs. Now, BitGet is my go-to platform. I use BitGet for 100% of my leverage trades and 90 to 95% of my spot trades. And I have other exchanges like Coinbase, Binance, Bybit, KuCoin, Gate.io, Crypto.com, and so forth, right, as my backups. I have access to all of these different exchanges. I have created accounts, KYC'd where I had to, and have linked bank accounts as well. So I can onboard fiat and I can withdraw fiat as well, right? Because coming into a bullish market or a really bullish environment, so let's take Shiba Inu here, where it's gone up quite aggressively in the recent days, then, you might be looking at kind of trying to offload some, trying to sell some, and trying to kind of withdraw. Now, not all platforms are going to be really intuitive, really easy to use, and those kind of things, right? So having access to as many as possible helps you work out which ones work for you, which ones don't work for you, and all that kind of great stuff. Now, as I said, BitGet's my go-to platform. It may not be your go-to platform. Maybe you haven't even got an account with BitGet, and if you haven't, why not check out the affiliate links in the description down below, right? Because you can take advantage of some of the fantastic offers that are available with BitGet, up to $8,000 of deposit rewards depending on how much you trade and deposit on the platform. But above and beyond that, guys, you'll be able to get a good understanding as to kind of how this platform works, and of course, making sure you know how to flow money on, flow money off, all the inflows and the outflows of different deposit types, whether that's depositing crypto or whether that is depositing fiat to the platforms. Ultimately get a good bead on it, because I think it's going to be a great strategy to help you kind of perform much better further down the line. Now, BitGet's my go-to platform, and I think it can become your go-to platform as well. So why not go ahead, check it out, sign up to BitGet. The link is down in the description below. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the trades that our members have been making recently. They have been absolutely crushing it recently. We can see some fantastic trades that have been going on, and Shiba Inu is obviously in the list here, right? We've seen some fantastic trades going on with SHIB. We can see a 10x on long position at 40%, and we can see that these are not crazy X leverage positions either, right? These are reasonable positions using proper good risk management rather than going crazy, right? 20x is probably on the highest things, the higher side of things, and you've got 30x here, for example, as well. And we've seen some really good trading opportunities that come over the last kind of week or so when it comes to our members across various different cryptocurrencies, including Shiba Inu. So if any of that sounds of interest to you, why not check out our membership website? That's basically membership.𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏.io, linked in the description down below, and take advantage of some of the things that we have to offer there. But it's a 7-day free trial, so what have you got to lose? Check it out, also linked in the description below. Guys, I think I'm going to wrap this video up right there. If you have found it useful and informative, smash that like button. I really do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done, and out of the way, guys, I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.